Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
If you're waiting for someone, we can wait. If you're ready to go.
Let's give it 30 more seconds. Just 30 more seconds. Sorry, excuse me. All righty. Well, good afternoon. Appreciate everyone being here today. Again, as I mentioned before, my name is Captain Jesse Galvez with the Public Affairs Unit. And here in a few moments, I'm going to introduce you to Colonel Frank Milstead, the Director of the Arizona Department of Public Safety, who's going to speak to you about the recent arrest of a DPS employee. Given that this is still an ongoing investigation, we're going to be very limited on what information we can provide outside the briefing you're about to receive. So with that, Colonel.
Thank you, Jesse.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. We wanted to disclose some information that happened here late last night. The Arizona Department of Public Safety, through an internal investigation and audit that started in September of 2018, we subsequently last night arrested one of our employees from the Laboratory Services Bureau. He's a supervisor that oversees latent prints and firearms. He is not a forensic examiner. He is just a supervisor in the area. His name is Todd Wittard. He's 52 years old. He's a 25-year employee of the Arizona Department of Public Safety. Over the last number of months, he's been observed removing rifle magazines, ammunition, and other accessories for firearms from the Laboratory Bureau from a non-evidentiary storage room. Last night, 2 search warrants were served on his car and his home, and we were able to recover the items that we saw him leave with yesterday. He takes the items and either puts them in a pocket or a canvas bag and removes them systematically from this non-evidentiary area of the crime lab. We were tipped off that there was some suspicious activity back in 2018 in September, and we began this audit. If you're wondering why we're talking about it now, just some 18 hours after the arrest, it's just, we believe, as leadership of the agency, is that our efforts are best served if we're transparent with the public. We know that the foundation of this agency is built upon public trust and confidence. And when something like this happens, before it becomes a story or a tale, we would rather give you the information that we know as quickly as possible. And as this investigation moves through time, we may have more information to provide you. We have had problems in the past with firearms being removed. We have prosecuted employees, we have fired employees, and this administration will continue to hold the employees to the highest standards of policing and continue to build trust with this community in the state of Arizona for what we do. Every employee in the agency is held to a higher standard than the normal person just because of what we do as a police department. There's really not a whole lot more to add to the story other than he was removing these items. We don't know at this point exactly why he needed so many or wanted so many of these rifle magazines. We don't know if there's a secondary market for them or not. We're still ongoing investigation, and there's still interviews that have to be completed.
Why was the audit launched in the first place?
Suspicious activity that was witnessed by, the question was why was the audit initiated, and there was some suspicious activity that was noted by another employee within the laboratory who brought it to the attention of their chain of command.
Do you know how many stolen items total?
I know we do know the answer. I don't know the answer. Heston, are you up on total?
It's varied because you're talking about ammunition.
So when you talk, so the question was, do we know how many items? A lot of it was rounds of ammunition, and these magazines, when he would leave with them, they came to him empty, and then he would fill them full of ammo. So there'd be many, many rounds of ammunition and many different magazines for different types of weapons. So what I'll do is I'll have the public information officer get you a total count if that will help you with your story.
And how many years did you say he was with them?
So the question was, how many years has he been with DPS? He's been an employee here for 25 years. He's been the supervisor over this particular unit within the lab since, I think it was March of 2017. So he's a long-term employee.
25 years, I mean, at this point, you feel shocked, betrayed by this type of behavior?
The question was, do we feel shocked or betrayed? Anytime one of our employees sinks to a level that would tarnish the reputation of this venerable organization, we all feel somewhat betrayed. It's just whatever is going on in his personal life or in his head that justified this being okay for him to do, I don't know. But I do know there has been no contrition on his part at this point, so we'll see how that is over time.
The ammo and guns that he was selling, is that, I'm just trying to understand, is that are those confiscated items, or did those belong to the department?
So the question was, what items were they confiscated? They belong to the department. And there's no guns at this point. It's magazines, ammunition, and other accessories for weapons that might be like a scope or a red dot enhancer, something like that. But all of these have come into the possession. They were either originally purchased by Arizona Department of Public Safety, they were property that was recovered or seized, but at the point that he was removing them from the department, they were all property of the state of Arizona, Arizona Department of Public Safety.
So it was a combination of property purchased by the department and then also seized items?
Seized evidence, that had been through asset forfeiture. It could be any of those different places. But yes, but everything at this point belonged to us. We had taken control of it as the state of Arizona.
And then you also mentioned he's a supervisor, but not somebody who actually did lab tests?
Yes, the question was, yes, he is a supervisor, but he is not a evidentiary technician.
Are there any policies or procedures you're thinking about changing to prevent something like this from happening going forward?
So far, I haven't seen anything that jumps out at us as far as changing policies or procedures, but we will look at those opportunities. I think the most important piece of this is that the employee that brought it to the attention of their chain of command felt comfortable that this leadership group would do something about it and make sure that it didn't fall upon deaf ears.
If the audit was started last year and he was in the unit since 2017, do you have any idea over what time frame he may have been doing this?
I don't know that yet. We're still ongoing with that investigation. There's still interviews to follow up, and what the complete time frame is, we don't know yet.
Did he participate in any crime lab investigations?
The question was, did he participate in crime lab investigations? And no, he did not.
And do you have a monetary value for the items he's taken?
We will eventually. I don't think we have a complete picture of all that yet, but we will over time. And is there a monetary value?
What exactly were his job duties?
He was, his job duties were to oversee employees of the firearms unit and, now I've lost my train of thought, in Leighton Prince.
What tipped the department off last night? Was it video? Was it caught on surveillance?
So the question was, what did we see last night? Was it video surveillance? And I'm not at liberty to discuss that at this point. I apologize.
Was there any specific items that he was attracted to more than others, a type of ammunition, a type of magazine?
The question was, is there a particular type of item that he was attracted to? The majority of things that he stole from the department were rifle magazines, multiple round rifle magazines for .223 or 7.62 millimeter rifles, and then the ammunition associated with that.
Did you guys do a search on his house, on his residence?
The question was, did we do a search? And yes, we did. And in the search warrant, we recovered the items that were removed yesterday and then some additional items.
Were there any weapons that matched the gun case?
So the question was, were there weapons in the house that matched the magazines or the rifle ammo that was removed? And I'm not at liberty to discuss that at this point. I'm sorry, sir.
About how many items recovered?
Again, I don't have a total number of the items. Once we know everything and we have a fuller picture, I'll have the PIO provide that to you for the story.
What kind of number are we looking at?
Again, I don't have a number that I can give you today, ma'am. I'm sorry. As this thing culminates into its final product, we'll have that number. We'll be able to provide that. Again, thank you for covering this. I think it's important that the citizens of Arizona know that we inside the agency continue to police ourselves and hold ourselves to the highest level of accountability. And the fact that you are here to cover this story is important to us because, again, our ability to do world-class police service is predicated on public trust, and that we never want to shake. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Colonel. Again, thank you, Colonel. And as he mentioned before, again, any further inquiries, please address those to the PIO_unit. When additional information becomes available, we will provide that to you. Again, we appreciate everyone being here, and this will conclude this press conference.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, well, we can get that all